Bobby Kennedy being appointed at HHS secretary is just phase one. This is just step one. Understand that there is a confirmation fight that is looming. Praise God that we have a Senate majority. We have 53 seats in the United States Senate. It should be 54, 55, should be Kerry Lake and also Hovde and maybe even Rogers, upwards of 56. Could you imagine confirmation fights, Andrew, with 56 senators? Woo! I mean, that would be something. Someone tried to throw me in the cabinet. No, I'm kidding. That would not happen. I still wouldn't get confirmed. Nor would I want to be a cabinet secretary, for the record, Media Matters. Actually, Media Matters have been slipping on their game a little bit. They're a little demoralized. Turns out they don't do as good of a job. And we got to get Hovde on the show. He's just terrific. We have a second election coming. We have a second election coming up. And that second election is confirmation. The second election is working Trump's nominees through the confirmation process. The Senate has advise and consent. Let's get John Thune, please, from last night on Brett Baer. Advise and consent is they weigh all the president's options, and then they vote on them. Now, a lot of people say, oh, we're not going to vote for Gates. Again, we went through this thoroughly yesterday. Okay, who? What are your names? I'd like to know that. It's all in the shadows. It's all just a bunch of leaking. It's all a bunch of voodoo. Bobby Kennedy. So let me just go in order of the toughest confirmation fights. You ready? This might surprise you. The toughest of all the confirmation fights, number one, will be Tulsi Gabbard. That is one that Republicans and Democrats will try to come together and block the ascendant restraint and realism foreign policy project to end the neoconservative warmongering monopoly in D.C. The hardest will be Tulsi Gabbard. The second hardest will be Matt Gaetz. The third hardest will be Bobby Kennedy. And the fourth hardest will be Pete Hegseth. Let me say that again. The hardest confirmation fights in order will be Tulsi Gabbard, Matt Gaetz, Bobby Kennedy, and Pete Hegseth. Now, you would think if we have a Senate Republican majority with 53 seats, that this shouldn't be that difficult. Now, mind you, if you lose Collins and Murkowski when it comes to Matt Gaetz or Tulsi, you're then at 51. But then we can lose one more. We can lose a McConnell or something, and we're at 50. We can't go below 50, and 50, J.D. Vance, is the tiebreaker. So it's okay. We get down to 50, we'll be okay. So we can lose 3. However, we shouldn't even want to get that close on some of these. Now, you could also entertain recess appointments, which, to the president's credit, he was pushing so hard to set the standard on recess appointments. And I liked what I saw last night out of the new Senate Majority Leader, Mr. Thune. I shot him a note. We said it on Twitter, where he said all options are on the table. He said, we're ready to go to war on recess appointments. So, Senator Thune, we said we are watching, and we want to see what kind of senator you really are. We want to see what do you have to bring to the table here. Let's play cut 418, please.
So you've said that you would do recess appointments if it came to that. What's the threshold for getting to that point for recess appointments?
Well, what I said is, Brett, and I think this is that all options are on the table, including recess appointments. Hopefully it doesn't get to that, but we'll find out fairly quickly whether the Democrats want to play ball or not. And I think part of it is getting these folks. We'll start having confirmation hearings as soon as the new Senate is sworn in January. President takes the oath of office January 20th. By the time he takes the oath of office, hopefully a lot of those nominees will be through their confirmation hearings and will be ready to act on them on the Senate floor. And then it's a question of how much do the Democrats resist or object or try to block those nominations from going forward. And we're going to grind them out. I mean, we're just going to keep consistently moving, and we'll see what kind of cooperation we get. And then we'll, like I said, we'll make decisions about where do we go from there.
Look, I mean, judging on the scale of kind of how we're doing, I'll take it, Mr. Thune. I'd like to see a little bit more fire and brimstone, but for Senate leadership, that's better. Everybody, I want you to arrest, celebrate this historic election. Enjoy it. You did it. However, coming in January, we're going to have another little mini election. That's going to, and here's what's so exciting. Do you live in Idaho? Do you live in Kansas? Do you live in Arkansas? Do you live in Mississippi? Do you live in South Dakota? Those 5 states. You guys might have felt, oh, we had no role in the Trump election out of battleground state. No, 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 no. Guess what? Your senators very well might end up being the issue of Trump not getting his cabinet. We might be coming to a city near you. For those of you in deep red states, Idaho, Kansas, South Dakota, Mississippi, Arkansas, those are the big 5, and then maybe North Carolina. You might have felt as if you did not play a role in Trump's movement. There's still something you can do. We'll tell you what that is as it materializes, but red state senators from blood red states, they better give Trump his cabinet.